Okay. Welcome to the Don Purpleman Radio Hour. I'm your host, Three Dogs in a Trench Coat, and I'd like to talk to you about Overwatch. So we all know Overwatch is that cool game where you get to play as a diverse cast of unique characters and heroes. But I see it as so much more. I see it as art. What do you notice about all these characters? Really, look at these guys. Now I'm willing to bet you looked at the title of this video before clicking on it, so I think you know what I'm talking about. It's that they're all so goddamn chunky. Look at Doomfist fists, or Maze boots, or whatever. A good chunk of these babies have some meat on them, and I love it. Obviously, there has to be a reason for all this chunk, right? It can't just be because these folks over at Blizzard are chunk fans, right? I mean, probably. Aren't we all? But, what's the real reason? I think it's because of visibility. Okay, so I bet you heard this type of stuff before. What I'm saying is Doomfist fists and Reinhardt's super sledge thing are so big and chunky to make the game look, feel, and play, I guess, better. But, sure, Doomfist could have a gauntlet that is only a little bit bigger than a normal arm. But it feels so much better to play as him when you're rocketing through the air with a giant fist missile stretched out in front of you, waiting to crush some poor baby's skull like an egg. Not only that, but it looks better for people that aren't you. Sure, that's a Doomfist rocking towards me at 1,000,000 miles per hour, but at least I know that because of his giant punch launcher strapped to his arm. And just look at that silhouette. Talk about recognizability. Now that I've said that, it's also important to point out that a big part of the chunkiness of Overwatch is that just because that's the game's aesthetic. Mei having those big old boots or that puffy coat isn't anything combat related at all. Mei just has big chunky boots. And it's great. So I think it's time to stop rambling and get to it. It's time to make a chunk tier list of all the characters in Overwatch as of when I'm making this video. Alright, for this list I'm going to be focusing on the characters' base skins. While I will acknowledge their other skins, maybe, only their original looks will be rated. With that, let's get into it. Starting with F tier, I decided to put Ana in there because while some of her skins can have some serious chunk, her base skin is pretty much chunk free. Genji, the only thing chunky here is his butt, so I don't know. McCree, this is all hunk and no chunk. Instant F tier. Mercy has no chunk. Why is she even in this game? Moira's skin stunk. This bad boy has no chunk. We have some more I didn't feel like writing anything about, so let's just put them over here. Symmetra, Tracer, Widowmaker, and Soldier 76 are going into F tier. F for afraid there's no chunk here. Onto E tier, we have Zenyatta. Legs so chunky you could fit like a puppy or two in there, I don't know. Junkrat only escaped the clutches of F tier because of his Riptire, which does have some meat on its bones. I would say Chunkrat, but unfortunately it does not apply. Hanzo with a mild case of chunky legs. Bug gets points for them shoulders, I guess. But that weapon is pure chunk. And Baptiste is only an E tier because his dad paid me off. Coming into D tier, we have Reaper for those chunky guns and overly chunky shotgun shells, and Sigma with his big chunky shoulders. Pharah rockets into C tier, only to find that nobody else came because she forgot to send out the invites. Torb is also the only person in B tier, but this boy deserves it because he's one solid ball of chunk. The heavy hitters return in A tier with Zarya and her big strong arms, Wrecking Ball's chunky bod, Roadhog's whole deal, Lucio's wild thighs, and now Diva's an interesting one because she sort of cheated and brought a chunky robot with her. The jury's still out on if this is illegal or not, but until then, she's in the running. Unlike Diva, Bastion is the chunky robot, and we like it. Just look at that gun. And here we have Ashe, seemingly also using the controversial strat of bringing in a big chunky robot, but unlike Diva, she barely even uses the damn thing. We'll see what the fans do about this one. And finally in S tier, we have Doomfist with a fist so chunky it can shatter bone. We have Mei with boots bigger than my goddamn dog. Reinhardt not only has a big chunky robot suit which would normally exclude him from S tier, but he also has a giant rocket hammer, with CHonK to match to the gods themselves. Orisa is a robot made of pure CHonK. Just look at those horns. Wow. And what to say about Winston? Winston is truly the perfect CHonK. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, you can like it and hit the subscribe button with the little bell thing. Sadly, you cannot dislike the video. The dislike button has broken and we can't fix it. Again, the dislike button is broken and you can't use it, so don't even try.